What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the opinionated hippie, and this is part 22 of my ranking and reviewing the Frank Zappa guitar solos within the context of an album. Today, this is part 22. This is the crux of the Biscuit. Zappa had a series of releases, which unfortunately seems to have ended, in which focused on like a particular album, kind of like a project object series, I think is what it was called. And this is, I think, the fourth of them. There was Mofo, which was Making a Freak Out. There was Lumpy Money, Lumpy Gravy and Money. There was Greasy Love Songs, which is Reuben and the Jets. And then there was this, which was Crux of the Biscuit, which is a lyric from Stinkfoot, which is a song that's on the album Apostrophe. So this is a look at the Apostrophe album. 6 guitar solos. 2 of them, 2.5-ish, 3 of them are the same solos that were on Apostrophe. So I've kind of covered them, but I'm going to do this album anyways and show you where. So I'll discuss these 6 albums. I'll rank them from 6 to 1, and then I'll show you where this album falls among the other 22 albums. So number 6 is Cosmic Debris, same solo that's on Apostrophe. Yeah, just a standard Cosmic Debris solo. Not much to it. It's good, serves its purpose. Love the sound, love this era, Frank's sound, but yeah, number 6. Number 5, I should probably pull up my list. Number 5 is Down in the Dew. There is a nice fretless guitar solo on here. I think it's a more interesting sort of solo because of the sound of the guitar. It's kind of unique. I don't think the solo itself is all that like epic or memorable, but it's just an interesting entry into the solo catalog. Revisiting this release, I think I originally ranked it like out of the, at the time, 55 albums that had been released after Frank passed. It was like in the low 40s, 41 or 42. Since then, it would have been bumped back maybe 3 or 4 spots because of other stuff that has been released, maybe 5 or 6 spots. I think it might be a better album than that. I really enjoyed it, even though I did a whole video on it. But it was solos like this that I really liked, just like a little more interesting flavor than we normally get. So a nice little Down in the Dew solo. Number 4, the Cosmic Debris, the basic tracks, which is like an instrumental version of it. Frank has a lot of nice fills that are tasty, but the solo itself, it's a longer solo, more like the long solos that he would do in like the 80s when he would have like twice as long than he normally would on like the album version. It's a little more well-paced of a solo. I think Frank knows that he has longer to like play around with and develop an idea, so he does. I think it's definitely a more interesting solo than the one that eventually, than the half the version that originally got released, the shorter one that originally got released. Kind of saves what is otherwise just kind of an interesting little track because it is just an instrumental version of Cosmic Debris. But having this solo in there, I think makes it a little more of a draw, makes it a little more interesting. Number 3 is the Apostrophe on here. Much longer edit. I don't know if I have this correct, so if you do know, but I have a feeling, I think what Apostrophe is, there's the original Apostrophe version on the album. There's this version, which is a much longer version. There's Energy Frontier, which is a kind of a longer version of it. And from my understanding of it this is like, I think the rhythm tracks, like what Gordon's playing on drums, what Bruce is playing on bass, I think those are used over and over again, and Frank maybe overdubs different guitar solos, or he definitely has different edits of one longer jam. So we have the official studio version edit, we have the Apostrophe edit, which is number 3 on this list, the longer one that just feels more developed, this one right here, and then there's something called Energy Frontier, which I believe is an even longer or a slightly different edit, slightly different mix. And I think both the Apostrophe, which is number 3 on here, and the Energy Frontier, which is essentially an Apostrophe jam, are much more interesting versions than the one that we get on the album. I think giving them more time to breathe, letting them stretch out, letting them be longer, just makes it a little more interesting. Like the ideas get a chance to develop. The energy just seems to carry through a little better. But yeah, that's what, and I have them ranked almost like the same numerical ranking, so they're pretty close. But at number two, I have the apostrophe, the alternate apostrophe version, and number three, and number two, and number three, I have the alternate apostrophe version, and number two, I have Energy Frontier, which is also another apostrophe version. Just a different mix, different take on it. What is it referred to as? The apostrophe is a mix outtake, and then Energy Frontier. This is the bridge. There's three Energy Frontiers. There's take 4, there's take 6 with overdubs, and then there's the bridge, which is 8.5 minute. The bridge is the one I'm talking about. That's really nice and long and extended. And then number one, again, is Uncle Remus. Same solo, same outro jam. I just think it's perfect. I just love the way it's essentially Frank just playing the melody, kind of throwing in a couple licks. I just think it just works so perfectly in the song. It's such a great melody. It's just such, it suits the song so perfectly well that it's just my number one. I love it. I think it's a great song with a great solo. Frank playing a solo in a way that he didn't always play a solo, where it really does work within the framework of a song and seems part of like the song's DNA. And you really don't want to hear a different version of it. You want to hear these notes, which is rare for a Frank solo. But yeah, that's it. Those 6 solos, there they are right there. That's it. Not much to this. Where would I rank it in amongst all the other albums? Surprisingly, it kind of makes it up pretty high up on the list. Where is it? I'm trying to scroll up on my screen over here to look at it. Yeah, it's all the way up to number 13. I do think it's better than Apostrophe, just because we have essentially 2 longer versions of the title track. And then you got FC Aussie and Volume 6 right below. Volume 6 is the first one that's just kind of but yeah, right there, number 13. Sort of in the middle of the pack at this point. Mainly because Uncle Remus is so good, and I do think those lengthier apostrophes are pretty good. But anyways, that's all I got for this one. Yeah, pretty short, easy one. Let me know what you think of these solos. Let me know what your favorite one is. If you have a better understanding of the apostrophe different edits, drop it in the comments, please, and share it with us. I think I get it, but who knows with Frank. Frank does weird things. But anyways, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share. Go listen to music. Go listen to the Crux of the Biscuit. It's a much better album than I originally gave it credit for. But yeah. So anyways, peace. Talk to you later.